What is up, everyone? My name is Jackson Thomas, or at Jackson K. Thomas on Instagram, and this is the first episode of Creative Legends, where I interview legendary creatives, ask them a bunch of questions, and get the answers to you, the inspiring or the inspired. So today, I am very pleased to announce that the first interviewee is the one and only at Andrew T. Kearns, or Andrew Kearns. He is an amazing photographer. He has worked with companies like Polaroid, Airbnb, Fiat, and so many more. He has almost over 400,000. He just hit 400,000 followers on Instagram, almost 50,000 on YouTube. He does daily vlogs, which is amazing. So I had the privilege of sitting down with him. Well, not sitting down with him. He was in the car on the way home from a road trip in Wyoming. We got on the phone. I got to ask him a bunch of questions that I've been dying to ask him over Instagram, like networking, how does geography play into photography and his photography specifically, and one thing every aspiring photographer needs to know about photography. So that is the interview. That is what you're about to hear. I do apologize for the audio. It is not great. I will be upfront. This is the first one I've ever done, so as I grow, they will get increasingly better. Andrew will have you on again, and you will sound so much better. Your information will get out there in a much cleaner way. If you want to, you don't actually have to watch this whole video. You can go to SoundCloud and download this, or just listen to it over SoundCloud, which is a lot easier if you'd rather do that. Okay, enough of me jabbering. Here is the interview I had with Andrew T. Kearns. I hope you enjoy it.
Hello?
Hey, Andrew. What's up, man?
How's it going?
I'm going well. Where are you guys out right now? You're in Wyoming, right?
I just was. I actually just got back to Portland last night. Now I'm driving home to Seattle. So.
Oh, cool. Well,
yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah, no worries.
So let's jump right into it. The idea behind this is there's all these creative people out there, and I want to get their information out to, you know, the aspiring photographers of the world. And I know that the creative legends, as I call them, don't have a lot of time to, you know, create that content. So I figured, well, maybe I can bridge that gap, create the content, get it out there, and hopefully that'll work out for both people. So
sure,
that's the idea behind it. So yeah, what did you do prior to photography, and then who are your inspirations like during that time?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, prior to photography, I was into music for a while. I did that for a long time, and I almost went to school for music and ended up not going to school for music. So that was kind of my life up until I picked up a camera, and then a camera just started kind of taking over my life. And like big inspirations right now would be probably Jared Chambers has always been my biggest photography inspiration. He's just can shoot anything and everything and shoot it really well, and just seeing him develop over the years and like seeing his style and like getting into different genres of photography, like it's really inspiring because he can literally just shoot anything no matter what it is and shoot it really well. So I really look up to him and his and what he does, as well as Alex Stroll. He's just like the man. He's a legend. Like he's a good friend, and like just like on a business end, he's a very good businessman. On the photography end, he's a very good photographer. So.
That's amazing. How did you and Alex meet?
I have a buddy who lives near me named Nick, and Nick is actually best friends with Jared Chambers. And so through Jared Chambers, he's met like Alex Stroll and like all those guys. So I met Alex through Nick, and yeah.
Legendary. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So like coming off that, the networking thing, where do you think networking and photography play into each other, and would you value networking over photography for anybody, really?
It's really important on both. Like in this field, really, like who you know determines where you'll go, and that's like extremely important. But honestly, like I think I have never invested a huge amount of time into networking. I just been so busy with so many things, and I've been fine on work coming to me rather than me seeking out work. So I haven't really had to worry too much about networking yet, but it's definitely important. Like I wish I did it more. I wish I put more effort into it. It's just a matter of the time and stuff. Like I just,
Of course.
Yes.
So you're in Portland right now, and you grew up in Washington, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I currently live in Washington technically, but I just travel so much. Like I've been there probably less than half the time in the past 6 months. So it's been like, I guess I technically, my dad's house is based in Washington, and I don't have a place of my own just because like I'd literally be dumping money into something that's not really worthwhile because I just travel so much. Yeah. So, but right now actually, like, I guess, I actually moved around a lot as a kid. I was born in Kentucky and then moved around like Oregon, Ohio, Tennessee, and I've lived in 3 or 4 different houses in Washington. But next week, actually, I'm going to live in Portland for the month. And then,
fun.
Yeah, on the 10th. And then from there, I'm moving to Montana for 4 months. So.
Whoa. Dude, that's amazing. Just out of curiosity, where in Tennessee did you live? Because that's where I'm located.
Memphis area.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I've got a couple friends there. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, lived in Collierville. So.
Oh, sweet. How do you feel like with where you've lived, how has that shaped your photography? And in the landscape portrait genre that you shoot through? Sure.
I think, honestly, like, where I've lived has had a huge effect on where I'm at today because, I mean, you people on the eastern side and, like, most of the people, like, in the Instagram photography community, like, in the photography Instagram kind of community, they are based, like, in very, like, just select places like New York or just, like, very specific places really on the East Coast. And then, I mean, the West Coast, like, they're kind of, like, scattered around everywhere. Like, I mean, obviously there's, like, hubs like Portland and San Fran and LA and Seattle, but, like, really, like, they're everywhere. Like, there's so much here and it's so diverse, and it's all, like, you can pretty much get it somewhere, like, really rad within, like, a 12-hour drive, whereas, like, like, it's a little harder on the East Coast, really, to get to something crazy like that. And also, too, like, having lived in the South, like, it's a very different dynamic there, a very different social dynamic, and, like, the very first, like, one of the first questions I always get when I visit is, oh, where are you going to school? And I that's just normal there. Like, you kind of graduate and go to school. And, and I mean, I tell them, like, actually, I shoot photos for a living, and I get, like, the little pity laugh, like, oh, cool. Like,
you're the starving artist.
Like, the starving artist kind of laugh. And, like, it's kind of funny. Like, it's just funny to think, like, to see what they think I'm doing and what I'm actually doing. Like, it's pretty funny. But, it's definitely being on the West Coast. Like, people are much more open to creativity and art. And I mean, that comes from a very I've been I guess like in Memphis, Ohio, and Kentucky. So it's like very specific places. And I'm sure there's other like more prosperous, creative places like that I just don't know of on the East Coast. But like from my experience, like it's definitely like a lot more reserved there and a lot more systematical there. And it's what it is. Like, it has its place, but for what I'm doing, like, I'm in the perfect location.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I just graduated a couple months ago, and, you know, I'm not going to college as of right now, and that's the same thing. I'm getting, you know, hey, why aren't you, you know, doing what everybody else is doing? Why are you trying to be creative? And it's definitely an uphill battle, especially where, you know, in Nashville, which is a little bit easier because of the music industry, but anyways, so other than photography, which I know you're completely passionate about, what else are you passionate about? And I know with the vlog and that sort of thing, is that something you're really looking into as a future?
Yeah, so that's kind of like my next thing, really. I guess it is my current thing, too. I really, like, people ask me my hobby, and, like, I literally do nothing else unless it involves the camera, and, like, that's, like, literally my whole life right now. I really don't do anything different. Like all my time is spent either filming or shooting photos, and like when I'm not doing that, I'm editing and those photos or those videos. So yeah, it's like it's really cool though, because it's like what I absolutely love doing. There's really, it's like cool to be able to make good money off of like what I love. Like I never work a day in my life anymore. It feels like I'm having so much fun, and I'm working really hard on something I'm passionate about, but like literally it's so much fun. Like yeah, it's awesome. And so yeah, it's kind of like what that's it's pretty much my passion is like my hobby and my job. So it like really works out like way too well. And then yeah, I mean the vlogs, like that's really what I want to be doing mostly coming up soon, because they're really fun, and they're much more personable, and it's a good way to document and show life rather than just a single image on Instagram. So
I love it because it's, you know, I followed you for a while, and then you started a vlog, which I've vlogged a little bit, and all of a sudden, you know, you're kind of up there as like a super professional photographer, which you are, and then you're doing the vlog though, and I can see like, oh, he's filling up his gas. Like I have to do that, you know, or he's just getting a breakfast at a little diner or a Subway, and I love that connection, and I know the rest of the audience does as well. I think that's just super cool, man, and we really appreciate it.
It's cool to it's cool. Like my life, is a little more like different and like they say like more interesting than most. Like I don't live a normal life really in a good way, and like but at the same time I'm just like a totally normal person. Like I like fill up my gas like everyone else. I eat like everyone else. Like I wake up and put my pants on like everyone else. Like it's like I'm definitely no like high and mighty like. It's just like I'm just a normal dude pretty much, and like that's all I really like want to be portrayed as. And like I mean on Instagram you see the highlights and you see like the big sweet photos or whatever, but you also don't see like on YouTube you see that as well as like like I'm actually spending most of the day working before I got that shot. Like it's like cool.
Oh my gosh,
I love showing that. It's really cool, and it really puts into perspective like what most of like people like to do Instagram and do photography, like what their life actually is like. So it's fun to show that, and people really seem to like it a lot.
No, definitely. I know a guy who's literally texting me right now, you know, and he's talking about you and your vlog and what you uploaded today. So it's hilarious.
That's awesome.
And when did you start following Casey? Because you know you talk about him a lot in your vlogs about his work ethic and that's how that's really shaped your life. When did you pick up on him?
Yeah, so my bud Samuel Elkins is another really talented photographer.
Yeah, love Sam.
Like I was a long time ago. I was at his house, and like probably not a long time ago, maybe like a year and a half or so ago. I was at his house, and like we were going to shoot the next morning at the Olympic Peninsula, and he's like something Casey Neistat, and I was like, oh, who? He's like, oh, you don't know who that is? And he showed me just a few of his videos, and like, oh, he's like pretty good. Like I also like as a preface, like I also before photography I actually did like some video work to make extra money on the side. So before photography I did video. So I was always interested in video, and I enjoyed it. And it was just really cool. It was like he showed me some of his videos. I was like, dang, I really like his filming style. Like it was just very like bare bones and simple, and he told a good story is what I really liked. Like he didn't have like this super epic like red movie setup with like all this extra crap like on like he just like the most viewed video at the time was filmed on this little point and shoot, you know, like it was like a camera that would be worthless today, literally. Like it was just like it was so cool to see how entertaining that video was on like a little crappy point and shoot camera. It was Bike Lanes was the video. And
Bike Lanes. I remember when it was uploaded.
And so like I was like interested in it, but I never like put too much thought into it. And then I was at like a cabin one time with a bunch of people. Dylan Firsty was one of them, and a guy named Kyle Duper. I always forget how to pronounce his name, but I think it's Kyle Duper. And they were talking about it, and I was like, oh, I should really check this guy out. And so I started watching. Like I think I hopped in at like vlog 200 or so. And like I just was like so enticed by him and his work ethic, and like literally like I talked about it, I think in a couple, like 2 or 3 vlogs ago about him quitting the vlog. So like, I mean, obviously, like I have people like who've like been good for me and like have really got me started in this, but I think he is hugely responsible for where I'm at today, because like he really showed that like, hey, like if you go and work your ass off, like that's really cool. Like he showed that like working hard and having like a really hard work ethic is cool, and like no one has really shown me that before. Like I've always like heard like, yeah, go work hard and like go this, but like, man, that guy's
hustlers are made fun of.
Like he grinds it out, and he like there's a reason why he's on top, and it's because he put in more effort than anyone has, and like he just made that whole lifestyle, like working that hard, like cool. So yeah, it was like it's cool. Like I mean, obviously it was a bummer to see like the vlogs end, but I think like as a creative, I respect him so much for that, because he could have easily just like probably lived off that and more for the next few years. Like like he could have made like his whole like all the money he ever needed in life off of vlogs for the next few years, but instead he just like is like, hey, like I'm feeling kind of creatively dead on this, I'm gonna go just move on to something else. And like that is like obviously there's business and stuff involved in that with like Beam and him selling the app, but like beyond that, like I don't know, like his like just seeing that work ethic displayed, like he has inspired me so much. And
there's a level of maturity that comes with him saying, okay, enough is enough, and I appreciate that to where, you know, he inspires so many creatives, and I love that he took the time and said, you know, when you're feeling creatively dead, no matter how much money you're making, it's time to move on. And I love that.
Like not worth it. Yeah, and that's like obviously there's business stuff involved in it.
Yes, of course.
But like that, like I mean, disregarding that, the man put 550 vlogs out like every single day for the past year and a half, put numbers up that no one ever had, and displayed like a work ethic. Like he's literally probably one of the busiest people on this planet, and he. Oh, I know. And he like puts what I do to shame. Like he does so much more than me, and it's just like you watch that, you have no excuse, you know.
It's unreal.
And also on the fact of that, he just doesn't like make excuses, like, and he does well with what he has. He doesn't have to have like some epic cinema like setup. He just you know, he vlogged on like a little $700 G7X. Like he's amazing. So
I love he went on an interview with Gary Vaynerchuk a couple years ago, I guess, and Gary was pounding that whole document and don't create. You know, it was just kind of the documentation of life, and Casey just embodies that, and I love that about his style. So
I agree completely.
Speaking of like growing and learning and stuff like that, where are your favorite places to learn and grow, and like how do you do that? Do you read books? Do you watch YouTube videos? Lynda.com. How do you kind of do that? Or is it just hanging out with a bunch of people who are creative, which is my favorite way?
I mean, like I can't tell you the last time I read a book, and like I haven't watched a tutorial video in a while, I think, on like camera stuff, but really like just hanging out and like just like going and shooting and creating and just doing stuff, like that's really how I learn and how I grow, and like just not making any excuses and just like going and just like doing stuff, really. Like that's the best way, like at least for me, how I like learn and grow and get better at my craft is just like consistency and just doing it, like literally as simple as that.
I mean, it makes sense. There's only so much you can learn from a book. I mean, you can't just sit in your house and read books and become a photographer, you know. You got to get out there and consistently do it. So that's awesome, man. All right, well, I'm going to give you some rapid fire questions because I know you got your next call coming up and you got to drive and everything. But these are the typical, like, what camera have you used, all that sort of thing. So we'll go fast through these. Actually, I always ask, what's your favorite camera you've ever used, and what was the first camera you used?
Sure. I think the first camera I ever had was, I can't even remember the name of it exactly, but it was a Canon PowerShot, then like had a bunch of numbers and letters after it.
Yeah.
And it was like this one, like no removable lens, like it just like, it was just
It had the digital zoom on there?
Oh, yeah, I had it all. Yeah, it was pretty great. there was that one, and then probably my favorite camera though. I just sold it recently because I haven't used it in a while. But I love my Mark II, my 5D Mark II, because like there's just something about it, and I'll probably buy another one here soon enough. The one I had just had like this weird issue that like you know when you buy a camera and you have to set the date and like the time.
Yes.
It did that like every few days. So I don't really know what to do with this. So I just sold it to a friend. I told him the issue. He was like fine with it, whatever. But so yeah, I think I'll buy another one eventually. But like something about the Mark II, like it just looks so like natural and good and like just like organic really, and like you can shoot with whatever camera you want, and it's just never gonna look the same as a 5D Mark II. There's something so classic about it.
Is that
also, like,
was it a
the iPhone too? But
was that a full frame? Is the 5D Mark II a full frame?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
It is.
So, what's the best photography mission you've ever been a part of? Like, you know, one moment where it's just like, oh my gosh, all my people, great location.
Yeah. Probably like in general, like this Iceland was insane. Like I kind of like went out there like 3 weeks in advance and like bought the tickets. But yeah, before I went there, I was like bought the tickets 3 weeks in advance, and man, it was crazy. Like it was just such like a other world. Like it was just amazing. And so like doing that for like 11 days and just like running around there with my friend Sonora, and we just like ran around, and we had like a 6 4x4 vehicle and just cruised around and like adventured and just like went and saw like some insane stuff and the most amazing stuff we've ever seen, and like it was another world out there.
Well, that sounds like the best photography mission ever. Like anybody can do it, probably. That's awesome.
It's gonna be hard to top it for sure.
Definitely. Speaking of topping it, where's like one place you want to go? Like that you've never been, you're like, I want to explore that place or area of the world.
Yeah, I mean obviously like places like New Zealand and Norway and like just really cool mountainous places, but like more like not as normal places. I really, really want to shoot in White Sands, New Mexico. I want to shoot like a portrait session or like a sunset.
I was down there
last
year. I love that place. Yeah. Yes.
Dude, I want to shoot stuff there so bad.
I want to see some Andrew Kearns work down there.
Dude, I want to get down there so bad. It's like it's been on the list for a while, and I know people down there, and it's just like so far. It's like 20-some hour drive, so it's just like hard just to be like, yeah, let's go. Like I don't know. But
right? Yeah.
I'll visit there soon enough. Like
what are flights like down there?
So bad. They're not too bad. It's just a matter of getting someone along board with it and just like going and doing it. Like that's really what it comes down to. So.
Hey man, well, if you ever need somebody, I'll be there. I will drop everything and go.
Somewhere I really wanted to go, and like the Southwest area. Also, randomly too, I really want to go to Rhode Island because there's just like my favorite movie, Moonrise Kingdom, was filmed there, and it just like looks cool. And one of my inspirations, like Kevin Rush, he like went there and did that whole thing, like the Moonrise Kingdom shots, and like I was just like, oh, that looks so sick. And so I'd like to get there and eventually like tour that area and just go to like all those places where that movie was filmed. So
definitely, that'd be awesome, man. And then just one takeaway that for aspiring photographers, like one sentence, one thing you would tell them.
For sure. Yeah. The most like people always ask me like, how do I improve? Like, what camera should I use? This, that, and blah blah blah. Like none of that really matters. Like the best way to get better and to keep pushing forward and getting noticed and getting everything is just like consistency. Like if you are constantly going out and shooting, constantly posting images, and constantly like just creating stuff, like that is literally the best thing you can do personally and as a business end. Like you can't get better by sitting there and like watching videos, or you can't get better by just waiting around and like not putting effort into it. Like you have to be constantly creating. Like definitely, like I'm at a good place now, and like I am like I'm doing well for myself, and like not to like brag or anything, but like the reason why is because I am just like nonstop pushing stuff out, like on my blog, on my vlog, on my Instagram, on YouTube. Like I'm posting stuff like on Twitter more often. Like
every day.
Just like every day, like being consistent. it does the full circle. Like, it gets you like more of a follower base and more of an audience, as well as, like, obviously if you're shooting more and more often, you're going to get better at your craft. So
Yes.
my best advice to, like, people, in short, my best advice is just always be creating and just make no excuses to why you can't be. So
I love that, man.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. Drive safely, man. And
Of course,
I'll send you a link to this when it goes up. And I hope you guys enjoyed that interview. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Share it with some friends that might want this type of content. And leave a comment below as to who you would want me to interview next. And maybe tag them, and we can get that set up, hopefully. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I will see you next Friday for another interview on Creative Legends. Thank you guys so much.